This guy writes this post, how do I not be boring? He says, I'm going to be honest, I'm 100% boring, and usually when I do get a girlfriend, I just kind of bore them with just how awkward I am and all the things that I can do. And when I try to talk, I just kind of repeat what I said less than 5 minutes ago, and I'm just awkward in those situations and wondering if there's a way to change such a thing. To be interesting, be interested. And so it's like if you can get the other person to do a great deal of the talking, they're going to perceive you as super interesting. And so it's important to really develop your skills at active listening if you want to be interesting, not this grand story. Sometimes that can work if you have the right really delivery and have that kind of personality that delivers in a way that's really exciting and entertaining. But you don't have to have that. And actually, it's usually more effective, and it's it really suits every single person you're with because you're getting them to talk about themselves. So it's a much more effective, much more adaptive. And so ask them questions of like things that they like to do, and then try to avoid being the one who's doing the majority of the talking. It's like people want to talk about themselves, talk to people about themselves, and they will listen for hours, is a quote. And so that is what I would say. And so also what you might want to do is develop some more fun things that you do in your life. It's like when you look on behind the surface, when you see people that are doing these like really exciting, fun things, what you'll realize is it took so many boring days of practice. And boring meaning just basically like kind of monotonous things you do every day consistently as a ritual. And so don't necessarily shy away from that boredom. Sometimes you can embrace it, but in a situation that calls for you to be more exciting, it's like, well, another thing you could do is just kind of boost how you move, gesture out, engage with your hands, talk with your hands, talk with your voice, talk with your body, obviously with your voice. But also the way you say things too matters. And so like if you're just saying things like, it was the very best thing, and you don't move your body, you're stiff, and you have a monotone thing, it's like the fluctuations and pauses sometimes in your voice. And that really comes from, it comes from movement, really. So I'm giving you just kind of brainstorming some examples and kind of going through these. But some examples of some questions are like, hey, what do you do for fun? If there was a place you'd like to travel, what would that be? Or if you could live in a place for a year, what would that be? Or what was your favorite year of school? Why? What kind of music do you listen to? What's a skill that you have that not a lot of people know about? Or what's something like when you're looking back at your life, like what's something like you're really proud of that maybe you got through something tough and it was like, I don't know, you're here now and you learned so much from it and you're just really proud of it. What was that? Yeah, talk about things like that. And when you hit on a topic, start with a frame of mind. So ask yourself first. So put yourself in this frame of mind that's like, okay, how can I find something that this other person is genuinely interested in? When you can do that, it's like all of a sudden, it's like you forget about that question. It's like, okay, I've just directed where my focus is going to go. And then all of a sudden you come up with like this resourcefulness to just find those answers and find what that person is genuinely interested in. Once you find it, then you just go deep on that topic. And usually you only have to find one, maybe two of those things the other person's genuinely interested in. And that's going to be enough to carry out a full conversation, sometimes on a full date. And then once you find that thing, it's like then they think you're getting your outcome, which is you want to be interesting.